Greetings. All right. It's late here. So, yeah. I cannot sleep. And I know, like, when I'm feeling that pull to read, it's a reason for it. Okay. Part of the reason why I can't sleep is probably because I took a nap earlier. Took a nap a little too early in the evening. And then I woke up. And now I'm like, I'm up. Granted, it's only like, I mean, it's almost closer to 12 a.m. than it is 11 p.m. So, almost close to 12 a.m. here, but time is just a whatever thing. I'm up. I'm always up late at night for the most part, so this is not new to me. But yeah, I felt guided to sit down and give a reading to you guys, divine connections and stuff like that, because I feel like some of you guys have questions. Now, this doesn't have to be about a specific person on your mind. It could just be the essence of your divine counterpart, or just like that yearning, like there's some type of pull. So let me describe what I'm feeling before I even pull any cards. And before I start this reading, I pray that this is all divine source God, our benevolent divine team that is guiding us and instructing us in the purest essence of our divine counterparts. All of that good stuff. Holy Spirit, I pray that it's all of you, that you remove me out of the equation. If it's something that I'm guided to share, may it only be because of you. All right. We'll make this a pure, clear channel message for those who need to hear it. I think I'm going to use this deck right here. Let me get this deck out. But I want to just tap in first, like just the energy that I'm feeling before I even pull anything. Because that's always important, right? Okay. Spirit. I'm very close to crying, so I don't know, like... I'm just feeling like a lot of, like... I want to say sadness, but at the same time, I don't know if that's the right word for what I'm feeling. Stillness, but it's not a comfortable stillness. It's kind of like a, I feel like this energy of like being in a void, being in a space of darkness, like kind of floating in space type of vibe, but it's dark. You can't see anything, and it's just like you're just there. You don't really know what to do. So that could mean a lot of things. You don't have clarity. There's a lack of light. It could be a lack of joy, happiness, or just you don't have peace. When it comes to this particular area, this is not saying that you're just this miserable person without, your divine love, or, it's not to say that, okay? I feel like this is just when it comes to this specific thing in your life, this concern, this matters of the heart, there's this feeling of being in this void space. Now, for some of you, it may not even be you. It could be your person. I'm going to separate the energies I'm just only going to do this by masculine and feminine. I'm going to separate it in that sense, not for the whole like twin flame-ish type thing. Oh, divine feminine. I do that energetically. I get, the separation between energies just to like kind of, discern who's who and what's what. Okay. So if you identify as more as a feminine energy, so you know where you stand. If you identify more as a masculine energy, you know where you stand, right? So I'm going to separate it. But as I'm just tapping in before I even pull anything, I do feel like this energy kind of sadness around the situation, or about love, or just your love life in general. There's a lack of clarity right now. And if it's not your love life alone, it could be in just, in general. Where you feel this void, you don't really feel light. It kind of feels like you're in this space of just floating. I do see like a vision in my mind's eye. I'm seeing like someone in a, call it Indian style sitting, but like in that type of meditation pose where but you're floating, but it's like in darkness, right? That's what I'm seeing. some of you guys could be being pulled into, either you're being pulled out of your sleep or you're being pulled into your sleep. It's like you can't really, yeah, Spirit saying like a feeling of a lack of rest. So you could be like kind of restless, you're not at peace. That may be your energy, yes. Oh, hey sis. I send you love. I send you love, mamas. I know. So it could be also being pulled into sleep. This is one thing, and I'll share this with y'all because and I used to like experience this a lot. Like a couple years ago, I would experience this a lot, and I would be on the phone like with one of my girlfriends. Like we would talk all the time on the phone, and we'd be up like late, like we're like we were owls. We just be up. Thank you, sis. I appreciate it. Yeah, but we would be up, and she would always say, "I'm being pulled into my sleep," and that would be like I would be on the phone with her. Like we would do this to each other sometimes. We would drift off into sleep. Like I will be in another place in another room. Like this happens easily. Like if I can describe what it's like, it's kind of you're about to go to sleep, but you're still conscious, and you might even be like talking, like you're still talking to people, but you're not fully there. Um, a lot of times when I was like at that period of my life, spirit would pull me into a lot of lucid dreams or a lot of prophetic dreams. Like it would be things that are very, very detailed. Like they're really real. Like I'm aware that I'm awake or I'm aware that I'm asleep. It's weird. I hope I'm making sense. Around that time too, I would have a lot of dreams about a man. Like all the time. It was weird. It was the weirdest shit ever. I feel like for some of you, it is that energy. Like you know how they say, if you get pulled out of your sleep around like the hours of like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., it's usually spirit wanting to talk to you or get your attention, or a spirit. But you gotta be discerning. But a lot of times you will be called to wake up out of your sleep because it's like that is the hour where it's stillness, it's quiet, and you might have time to really sit with yourself versus during the day when it's a lot going on, or your attention might be pulled and distracted in many different areas. So for some of you, it is, of course, spirit pulling you out of your sleep. But for some of you, it's like your divine counterpart is either doing it like on a soul level, maybe not a conscious level. Sometimes like we could think about people, and this goes for like any type of connection. It could be like with your friends, your family, where you're thinking about a person and then they call you. It's kind of similar to that, but maybe more so on an energetic level where the soul or the spirit is calling you. And I know for some people that concept is like, what is this heifer talking about? For some of you, you get it. Like, you know that it's not far-fetched. It's not, because I've experienced this with like people, and I can like confirm it with them and be, you know what I mean? So it can happen. It's very possible. So I do feel led to say that if that's happening to you, or you're getting pulled out of your sleep or pulled into your sleep, most likely it's because you're connecting with your person, and you don't have to know who the person is yet at all. It could just their essence. I did a reading for someone earlier today, and she was telling me how she had I think she said it was a dream. No, not a dream. She said she was just feeling the energy of a masculine energy coming into her life. Like she felt it. If I'm not mistaken, she probably did say a dream, but I'm just going to paraphrase. She said she felt the essence of a masculine energy coming around. And then like not very long, shortly after, like a guy came around. Not saying that it is or it isn't her counterpart. That's not the discussion of what we were talking about. It was just the fact that she had gotten that heads up. So this is what I've learned. Whenever I've had just inklings about things, or I've had dreams about things that you could tell the difference between like a dream that you're just having because it's like a junk dream where you're gathering stuff throughout your day or things that you're worried about, and then you carry it into your sleep, versus like when it's something that spirit is revealing to you, or like a sneak peek. Usually, oftentimes, like it'll stick with me, or I'll share it with somebody. like I'll have dreams about something very weird and I'll explain it to a person like I saw this happening and blah blah blah, and it might sound foolish at the time, and then it plays out in the physical. It might play out a little bit differently, but nonetheless the outcome is still the same. So whenever I would have dreams about something to come or energy, I would sense the energy, it happens. So this is why I'm saying, like, you can encounter an energy. Maybe it doesn't have to be in a dream. It's just an inkling. It's a feeling. It's a, how do I explain it? It's like a heads up, like your soul is giving you a heads up, because everything happens in the spirit realm first before it happens in the physical realm. It doesn't happen, oh, everything in the physical and then it happens in the spirit. Most oftentimes, like your experiences before something encountered, like an encounter happens or a prophecy or a premonition, you're going to see it in the spiritual sense, or you're going to sense it. Like, it's not going to be something physical or tangible. It's just going to be an inner feeling or inner knowing. Like, that's so Raven vibes. Like, so, and just like That's So Raven, and I'm being led to say this, prophecy is like only told and shown to us in parts. Like, sometimes we'll get a glimpse of it, but we don't see the full picture, the full ends. Like, you know how Raven, she would have a vision and she would see how something would end up happening, like how it would actually unfold, but she didn't see like the beginning, the middle of that. So it's kind of like it would play out a little bit differently, and sometimes she would try to intercept and be like, oh, this is about to happen, and she would try to like switch it from happening, but it still happened. Does that make sense? So some of you guys could be experiencing something like that, or it could be both ways. Like, this is the thing too, you got to remember this. Like, if something's, you're experiencing it too, and whoever you're in relation or connecting to, most likely they're experiencing it as well. Some people are not as conscious of these things. So one person could be fully aware and conscious of what's going on around them. They're having dreams, or they're seeing synchronicities, or people are saying the same thing over and over and over again. You're hearing the same music over and over again, or something like that, or similar themes. And another person could be experiencing something very similar, but they're not really paying attention. They might see it, but they don't really think too much into it, or they don't really discern it or dissect it. It's kind of like, oh, that's weird, and they go about their day. So yeah, that's kind of the energy that I'm getting from this. So I'll start shuffling, I'll start pulling. Just need to figure out how I want to do this. I think I'm gonna do like an overall energy, and then I'm gonna separate the energies. I'm gonna do a whole spread. Y'all know how I do with my buffet of cards. That's how we do over here. But yeah, because like I keep hearing the same songs over and over. So like I'll hear, or the same artist. Like when I was channeling a message the other day, I kept getting Toni Braxton songs. And my Lilith is literally Toni Braxton. I'm just so it makes sense. But no, like her music kept popping up, and like there will be certain songs that will pop up often, and I keep seeing something with Santa Monica Beach. My friend freaked me out the other day because she mentioned it to me. She was like, I'm seeing something with Santa Monica, or like a Ferris wheel. And I keep seeing Ferris wheels, and I've seen this like off and on for probably since like 2020, I want to say. If not 2019, definitely 2020. Like something with Santa Monica, or more so the beach or the pier, or something with Ferris wheels. So for some of you, the Ferris wheel could be more so like metaphoric for you. If this applies to you, like you'll know the difference. Holy Spirit, what is the overall energy? Sometimes it could be like a karmic cycle. For some of you, it could just represent some type of lighthearted energy as well. Some of you guys could be afraid of heights. I don't know. So I'm getting, Holy Spirit, what is the energy surrounding this collective that you want me to assist, give guidance, give clarity? Thank you. Okay, you have clearing karma with Kundalini activation. I forgot to mention that as well. Some of the sexual energy might be really strong right now. Some of you guys, you might be, use your discernment with this, y'all, please, 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 because, you know, incubus and succubus spirits do exist. It's very real. But some of you guys could be having like sex dreams or just a little more hot than usual, okay? But the clearing karma card, this is what I'm picking up from that. And for some of you, it's like, for the women, I'm seeing clearing in the, you know, that down there. I'm seeing clearing down there as well. Could even be like in a form of cramps, but like I always say, I'm not a healthcare physician. So if you are experiencing something that is alarming to you physically with your body or your health, always seek a healthcare physician. Please, please do. Girl, no. No, that's a nightmare. That is not pleasurable. That's a nightmare. We're not going to talk about, yeah, some of these dreams, like spirit be like fucking me up sometimes. Like spirit be having me have dreams about people that I would not sleep with if they paid me. So I'd be like, y'all need to stop. But sometimes sex dreams, they're metaphoric. They're not literal. Yeah, because, yeah, that's something that I want to do away with, okay? It's disgusting. Mission accomplished. Welcome home. So you have, with the clearing karma, you have number 6 and 6. So you guys might be seeing like 6 on the clock or 606 on the clock. And then you have mission accomplished with 1111. So you could be seeing that as well. And there's a little cute little swan here. You getting your period? Oh, well, you got your dot. Yeah, some of y'all might be getting your period early as well. Or it might seem like a heavier period. Or yeah, it could be like a more intense, maybe heavy, but I feel like that's a lot of clearing, to be honest, especially if you set intentions to do some type of detachment or cord cutting with lovers or exes, even more specifically releasing sexual, like soul ties for some of you, sexual trauma, that whole thing. But mission accomplished tells me that you've overcame something when it comes to your identity. So some of you guys could resonate from a space where with the swan, I'm getting like the whole black swan thing where you might have been kind of the outcast. You may have felt like you weren't always the pretty one or the most attractive one. You may felt like you had to do certain things to fit in or conform. But I'm feeling like you did something where you're honoring yourself as you are, like you're fully stepping in and tapping into you. And I feel like that's the welcoming home. And the more you're going to pull in or attract your person, okay? You're going to attract your person, your one, as you do this. And it's not for the simple fact of you trying to do it. It's more just divine alignment, that the more you embrace yourself, the more your person is going to embrace you. Not saying that they wouldn't, but it's like, if you're not being your authentic self, it kind of makes it hard for you to merge. Or for those of you that have never even met or seen, you don't know who your person is, you don't know a name, you don't know age, you don't know nothing about them, right? You probably won't be able to even see this person because your energy's not in that place where they can see you or where you can receive them. Does that make sense? Okay, let's see. Overall energy. What's going on with my collective? What's going on of this connection? The overall energy of this connection. What's going on spiritually, physically? What's the energy? Some of you, things that were prophesied to you, told to you, things like that, they're coming to pass, or things that you picked up years ago, something about it starting to come to pass. So someone's intentions is to play it safe in this connection. There's definitely something with the number 6. And I feel like this could have something to do with like exchange, give and take. It's kind of like, if I don't receive this, or you know, it's kind of like this energy of, if I don't get this back, then I'm not putting anything out. If I don't feel like it's safe to put myself out there, I'm not going to. I'm not going to date. I'm not going to talk to this person. I'm not going to tell them I care. I'm not going to tell them I love them. Or I'm not going to believe in this synchronicity unless this and unless that. It's like someone has made a very stiff decision to be like, I'm just going to play it safe. Or even if you don't say that to yourself, that's what the energy is. Like your intentions are to kind of like wait. Okay, this woman is waiting at a dinner table. She's outside. So it's kind of just like some of you guys do see the vision. And I know good and well in the back of this card, in the background, it's not fireworks. Hold on. Let me see. I have never noticed this shit. Excuse my language. There's fireworks in the background. Why would there be fireworks in like, this looks like the woods. Like this woman looks like she lives like kind of like on the countryside, and it's like all these big trees and grass, but there's fireworks. Like it's pretty weird. Like where's these fireworks coming from? Yeah, it's like, and there's a gate here, so it's kind of like the separation. This picket fence is separating this greenery. Not you just heard fireworks, spirit. Like, why are you doing this to me? It's scary in a good way. The fireworks could represent for some of you guys like a passion, a chemistry, excitement. And it's like you're trying to separate yourself. Okay, this makes sense. Some of you guys, you don't want to get too ahead of yourself. And I understand that. I get that. I get it. Let's see. Some of this is feminine energy. Yeah, fear. The energy of fear. And this woman is wearing a black dress. It's like the fear of... I'm hearing like a castle. Something about a castle. Protection. Like you're very protective of your energy. This feels like the feminine, but this could go for a masculine energy feeling this way as well. But I'm getting like a feminine energy where the energy is dominated in fear. That's really what it is. It's fear of trusting, because you feel like you're going to fall off the ledge if you do. If you trust, it's like, okay. Okay. I can't show you. I'll show you my table. I can't like set the camera up how I usually do, where you see like me, like my hands and stuff, because I'm not dressed appropriately. But I will at least show you these cards that I just freaking pulled. What the fuck? Excuse my language. But what did I just say? What did I say, y'all? Like, what is this? Like, what's this? What is this? This Ferris wheel. This amusement park vibe. What is this? Joyous fun. Okay. I'm going to clarify that. I'm going to. Some of you guys are... You're going to have to take a leap of faith. It's going to take like this childlike faith when it comes to... Because it's like you're not enjoying the journey, or you're not having fun, or you're afraid to go in to something. Like you're afraid to like put yourself in this energy because of potentially the fear of falling, the fear of, yeah, because these kids are having a good ass time, and there's this man in the back that's kind of weird. Like I'm not gonna go there. I don't feel like that's what that is. This man looking at these kids. I don't think it's meant to be that. This could be divine spirit, because there's also a couple with their little girl playing as well out here. So this could be spirit, like divine spirit saying like you need to have fun, or have fun with this journey. Like it's heavy, and I'm getting like a masculine energy. There's this victim mentality, like kind of this energy of shame. Waterfalls could resonate with some of you. Waterfalls can also be a spiritual message of purification, rejuvenation, renewal. Can also talk about like the spirit, the receiving the spirit, or being in the spirit. But this person, this man in this card, his hands are tied. They're bound and they're tied down to this bedpost. So it's kind of like maybe the masculine, like their consciousness is in this victim mentality right now, in this guilt, this shame, this like being stuck in their head about something. But rather than like changing the perspective of whatever the shame or this like victim mentality is, there's a stack of books and it has an hourglass on it. So it's kind of like seeing this like as over time I've gathered wisdom, rather than looking at being bound to your past or being bound to what was. So there could be a little bit of some guilt, but it doesn't have to be connected to you per se. If you're the feminine, it could be connected to just other things, right? So let's see where you guys are individually. A little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper. I didn't have these cards so long. The psychic tarot cards. I had these cards for like years, and they're like really weak. It's hard to shuffle them or bend, like bridge shuffle them. It's like that Bible that your grandma done had since 1912. Like that's how old this deck looks. It's old looking. Okay, let's see. Spirit, can you please give me what's going on with the feminine energy, feminine counterpart energy? Where is their energy? Yes, we're all up. Shout out to the night owls. And for some of you guys, you're not a night owl. You're up during the day. You're in another country. Shout out to you for being here. All right. Okay. You have love begins, triumphant success, which are two aces, Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords energy, the 9 of suffering and silence, which is the 9 of Swords energy, and the 8 of positive movement forward, which is the 8 of Wands. If I'm not mistaken, what color is I cannot remember. Actually, it might be the 8 of Pentacles, but I could be wrong. 8 of positive movement. Yeah, I think the reds are Pentacles. Yeah, okay. The red cards are Pentacles. I should know this. This deck is old, okay? So right now, where the feminine energy is concerned, is like there is some type of like promise here. And you may know this as the feminine, you may know that there's a promise in love for you, or there's something specific maybe that was promised in regards to your love life. Like, you know, it's something that is meant to come to pass. You feel it, you know it. You feel like it's something that spirit, your divine team has showed you, confirmed to you, something along the lines of that. And I feel that spirit is saying that, but you have to be willing to pour the love into this. Like, you have to be willing to pour into this stream of love, if that makes sense. There's something about this that's ever flowing, never ending. With the triumphant success, this reminds me of the story of King Arthur, where the sword was like stuck in the stone, but this person's hand is coming up from out of the ground. So it's like something that you may have thought was buried, something that maybe you thought was dead, something that could not be resurrected. I feel like there's going to be a triumphant success in something in regards to that. I don't know if that makes sense. This could be about your love situation, or it could be anything in your life, but we're talking about your connection. So, hey, put 2 and 2 together, I guess. Suffering in silence. Yeah, all the while this energy here, you're not seeing that there's positive movement forward. You don't see that right now. You're looking at the mountains. You're looking at how far you have to go, maybe, or what you perceive how far you have to go, or how long you've been where you've been. And it's kind of like, what is the purpose of all of this? The woman in this card is holding, looks like a stick or something, like a staff. And staffs for me spiritually represent the miracles of God or spiritual direction. So there's some type of purpose or something you've been called to, like Moses, the burning bush, spirit called you to something, but it's almost like you're looking at how far you have to go. You haven't made it to the promised land, right? It's like that Moses metaphor. I don't know if that resonates with you guys, but you feel like you're called to something, but you're not quite there yet, or you don't see the way through. It's like, it's not a happy energy that you're in. Spirit may be trying to heal the energy of control in you, and to get you to spread your wings and trust in this path. This path that you're taking is a narrow path, meaning like where everybody else would be like, if that was me, I wouldn't believe in this, or you're wasting your time, or you're gonna be single forever waiting on this type of person, or this and that, or this type of love. Like, you're being too, you need to lower your expectations. And I'm not talking about from a place of like where you're like, oh, I can only date a guy that's this height and looks like this and has this and makes this much money, like those superficial checklists of things. It's like a love that, it's like, why wouldn't I be able to have a loving partner? Why wouldn't I be able to have a faithful connection and relationship? And, you know, even deeper than that, you might have deeper, you know, desires that are spiritual, whereas everybody else is just comfortable with settling, like, oh, you know, he was available, I was available, or we just fell into a situationship, we had a kid, so we just stayed together because of the kid. Like, that's not your path. It's not your path. So I feel like Spirit's saying, like, your healing process is helping to break you free of whatever is causing you to doubt and question where you're going. Even if you don't have all of the answers, just like I said with the whole That's So Raven thing, like, prophecy is told and shown to us in parts. Like, we might see like the end result of what it is. Like Spirit says, this is going to be your life. This is, what is that? Novi, this is going to be the life that you're going to live. This is going to be, you're going to have a son, you're going to have a daughter, you're going to have twins, or you're going to whatever, right? Like the end result of something, or this is your spouse, this is your person. And you're just like, okay, but how? Right? Because you're looking at where you are right now. You're too concerned with the middle. So Spirit's saying to find balance. There's like healing and finding balance. You might have to balance out some of the other areas of your life. You could be hyper focused on one area of your life, or to not focus on one area of your life. You may be trying to distract yourself by putting more energy into something else where there's a need for balance of all things, or not to ignore, discard, or kind of, what's the right word? Distract yourself. There's a need for balance. There's a need to consider all areas. There's a need to stop and pay attention. There's a need to find moderation in the energy, like compartmentalize. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Because sometimes when I try to say that word when I'm reading, I sound really stupid. Let's see. Yeah, it's like you have a lot of 9s and a lot of 2s in your reading. Wow. You have 2 1s. You have 2 9s, 2 8s, and 2 2s. Wow. So 22, 99, 88, and 11 may be like numbers that stand out to you. But the 2 1s are just a 2. So again, there's something with the 2. So you could be seeing 222 as well. But I feel like these are messages, like this is, at least at this time when you're hearing this, if this resonates with you, some of these numbers are relating to the message as far as needing to find balance, needing to choose your path and stick with it and believe in it. Not trying to control things, because when you're trying to control, you're not able to see the movement forward because you're trying to put your hand in it. And there could be something, with sailboats too. Because oftentimes, like when I go to California, for some reason, I like to take, if I see them though, like if I'm at this particular beach that I like to go to, I'll see a sailboat every now and then. And when I see them, I always make it a thing to take a picture of them, because it's like something, I don't know, it's something magical to me about it. I don't know why. It's just, maybe it's a symbol to trust, and like trust your journey and to flow, and the surrender to the control and trying to figure it all out, or trying to put your hand all up in the mix of what Spirit is doing. So there's a time for when we're guided to do things, and there's a time where we're just guided to fall back and just kind of be still and be present. But it's kind of like, for what? Be still for what? Because it's a panic behind it. Ooh, that scared the shit out of me. Hey, I'm glad it's resonating. But I feel like when you are in that space where you're really open to receive, like you're going in seeking the clarity, but you're open to what you receive. So you may have a question for Spirit. You may have something that you want to know, but you go in with the openness to what Spirit has to say though. Like you're not hyper fixated on, it has to be answered a certain way. Show me this, show me that, or why is this happening? Why is that happening? And you're expecting like a specific answer, or solution, or vision, or some type of experience, but you're just present and you're just allowing yourself to encounter and converse with Spirit openly and freely and vulnerably, that I feel like in that, and this might be something that doesn't happen in one encounter. It could be just taking time out, because I feel like it's very important that we spend time with spirit every day and within self every day, like to where we're just centering and paying attention to ourself, our body, our breathing, and just be, right? There's two significant messages that may come to you. Getting like messages or messengers, two. Okay, there goes that two again. Because I'm getting like you already have gotten a confirmation. You're the first, like you are the first source of receiving the confirmation. And then there's two outside things that confirm it, which make it like a three. So some people like their shit in threes. Some people like to receive their confirmations in threes. And a lot of times I feel like when that happens, it's almost like spirit is also confirming even further, because three, like the Holy Trinity, right? That's just me. But yeah, so again, you have two aces, you have two nines, two twos, and two eights here. Okay, so those numbers could be significant to you. All right, let's see what's going on with masculine's energy, and then we'll look at like where you guys are with one another's energy. And again, mind you, if you're just tuning in, you don't have to know who your person is yet. You could just, you know, the essence is what matters first anyway, because that's how you really going to be able to discern who your person is because you're familiar with their energy. Their energy is going to stand out to you. All right, sure. Spirit, please show me where masculine energy is concerned right now, where their energy is. Oh, these cards wanted to come out right away. They spit themselves out of the deck, and there's quite a few cards here too, by the way. All right, you got the sacral chakra. So some of that sexual energy, definitely like that kundalini fire energy, is masculine feeling that for sure. And maybe even masculine's energy, like feminine energies, is feeling that sexual energy, and it's not them only. It's not just coming from them alone. It could be coming from a masculine energy, like you're picking up on that. So some people might need to get their shit off, you know, however they need to do that. And if it's with another person, if you're not with this person, you know, you guys are not together, then, you know, you can't be mad at that. But it's like, okay, once we together, that shit's done. Okay, none of that going on. Okay. So moving on with the Six of Swords, Seven of Patience and Planning in reverse, Hope in reverse, which is like the Star card, the Emotional Withdrawal in reverse, which is the Eight of Cups, and the New Beginnings, which is the Fool card in this deck. So the Six of Moving On is like the Six of Swords. So I'm going to start there. There's something that masculine energy is being called to move. If I don't speak directly to the masculine, it's only because I'm so used to reading for feminine energies. So don't take offense to it if you're masculine, but I'm going to just kind of explain it this way. That masculine energy, I feel like your energy is like in between a shadow energy. So you could be in a dark night of the soul where you're dealing with your shadow self. You may be dealing with some uncomfortable truths about yourself, things, your past, whatever. It's like there's this energy where it's really meant for you to sort through, so that you are meant to move to the other side, which is the light, the light at the end of the tunnel. And this man is carrying a compass in his hand. So you are being guided. There is a divine direction. It's not you just walking on your own, and it may seem like you're walking in the dark, but you're not. So this could be like hermit energy as well, where you're in your hermit mode. You're not really maybe feeling like your energy's a little, what's the right word? Kind of introvert, kind of reclusive right now, kind of cloaked energy right now. Even if it's like you have to maneuver in the world, maneuver, socialize, it's like so much of it though. It might be hard to be patient right now. You can't really plan or focus on things because your energy's not in the space. Like, you may want to plan something right now. There could be like plans for the material world, material realm, or maybe that is where your focus is, but you're having a hard time with having patience with something here. There's like an angst, and I keep getting this in between state. Yeah. With the hope card in reverse, there could be a lack of faith or hope right now. Could be within yourself. And when I say this, not like, it could be a slight bit of depression or just a slight bit of like worry about something in particular that you don't really feel that optimistic about. If you haven't lost full-fledged hope or starting to, it's just a feeling of a lack of hope, a lack of faith, a lack of optimism towards something, or just where you are right now. And that makes sense because you're in this place of clearing. You're in this space of like kind of in between. So in this emotional withdrawal card, there's a man sitting at the beach and he's praying, but it's in reverse. So you could be emotionally avoidant of something that Spirit's actually saying you really need to sit with yourself about. And if you find therapy with, you know, being by water or being in nature, because that could be something that you're, you know, you might be called to that, or that might be something that you do, you know, or have done in the past, something that is your go-to way of therapy. But there's an emotional avoidant energy here. There's something that you might need to emotionally withdraw from, but you're not, like, you're kind of not seeing the fact that you need to emotionally withdraw from something, or you're avoiding that. So the New Beginnings card, this New Beginnings card has a woman in it, which is the Fool. There's something, okay, I have to describe this in the best way that I can. This woman is walking on a globe. It's almost like she had to walk through this door, walk down a little bit of some steps, and now she's walking on this globe. So for some of you, it's like someone on the other side here that might be guiding you to walk through some type of door, like, or walk through a new energy. There's something with these portals. I want you to see this real quick because I need to, because I can't explain this. See how this man is in between two different energies. He's here, this darkness, in between, in the light. Then there's these portals here, these pillars of light. Then when you look at this card, you see how this woman is, she's already walked out of this door, walked down the steps. Now she's in this world. This is somebody that, I don't know, some of you guys, this is a Passover loved one, could be an angel, could be your divine counterpart, your feminine energy, kind of like their spirit guiding you through something. I don't know how to explain this. I might have to, I'm going to ask where you guys are together in a second, because that might come up. So I'm going to keep that in mind. Okay. Let's see. It's masculine at with their healing. It's masculine at with their healing. Helpless and hopeless, clarity of belief and flow. So you have the 8 of helpless and hopeless. So there's 2 8s for you here too, just like the feminine. You have 2 8s here. You have the clarity of belief, the Ace of Swords, which the feminine had this in the other deck. The Ace of Swords in another deck. And then you have flow, which is like the Wheel of Fortune. So where your healing is definitely concerned, it is surrounding the way that you think, okay? Your mindset. And then again, there's something about choices. You have a choice here. It's like Spirit is saying your choice is also how you walk the path, or if you do or you don't, but it's also, do you believe, are you going to have faith, or you're not going to have faith in something, or have faith in yourself. So there's like this choice here that you have, okay? Because this person, quite like the feminine's energy, where the feminine was looking from a mountain top and was looking at how far they had to go, and they were looking at all these other mountains. Similar here, but more, someone is on, one of you is on a higher ground of perspective, like, okay, I see, I understand, Spirit, what you're saying, what you're showing me, but I don't know how I'm going to get from there to here. Whereas I feel like masculine energy is more in a practical, more on ground state, and looking at, okay, this does not make sense to me at all, or I don't understand how I'm going to get from here to there based off of all these other things that I have going on, or all of this that it's most likely it's in your heads. Just like the feminine with the Nine of Swords, it's mental. It's all mental. It's fear. Clarity of belief. The heart and the mind have to be in sync with a belief here. And if not, they're going to be beefing. The heart and the mind is going to be at war together. Okay? It's just not going to, it's just not, right? So, with the flow card, this man is, it's almost his baptism. There's something with water, for sure. I don't know how many men could fit in a bathtub, unless you got like this big ass bathtub or something. I'm not really getting literally like needing to take a spiritual bath, but there's like a spiritual cleanse with water though. Like this man is dipped in it, like his feet are in the water and he's touching his heart, just like this man in the clarity of belief. They have their hand on their hearts. So it's like I'm trusting, following my heart, but it's coming from a place of purification, maybe in around the heart. Because you might feel like you can't trust your heart. You can't trust what you feel sometimes. You can trust what you know and what you can see, or what has been proven before. You believe in the science of things. But when it comes to the unseen thing, it's not always easy. Because this is like definitely about the heart, for sure. You know, it's like your heart and your mind are like a East Coast, West Coast beef. Like, it is drama really over nothing at the end of the day. Like, you can come together. You can merge the heart and the mind. They should be in sync, right? So there could be a transformation coming around the way that you see things, and believing and trusting in your heart space. So let's go ahead and see where the connection is concerned. This is going to be a long ass reading. If y'all don't mind it. Hell no, bitch, I don't mind it. Some people like long readings. Some of you guys do. All right, let's see, because this is too much. I'm trying to think, do I want to use some lovey-doveys? That kiss, kiss, kiss. I don't know what kind of deck I want to use. Let's see. I'm going to use this deck, and then I'm just going to pull one. Thank you, thank you. You guys are amazing for sticking with me. Like, some people have short attention spans, so if you can hang with it, I'm glad. I'm grateful. Thank you. Get what you need. All right. Let's see, where is the feminine energy at with the masculine? Feminine, let's start with you. Where are you at? Collective of feminine energies, please. Thank you. Okay. Masculine energy, where are you at? With feminine energy, where are you at? Where are you at? I love to see this card. I'm going to show y'all in a second. I love this card right here. It's so cute. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's clarify with this deck. Thank you. Masculine. Masculine. Oh God, please don't let this be a dramatic reading, please, Lord, please. Please, Lord. The healing energy. What does the feminine energy need to heal when it comes to the masculine? What is the feminine energy? Spirit really is like getting on feminine's energy about like that fun, that word joy, fun, like really. Masculine, what do you need to heal when it comes to feminine? Thank you. All right. I might use the Miss Cleo cards to clarify the tarot. So feminine energy, where you're at with the masculine, you have ascended masters in planning and action, heartache and loss, and joy and stability. So you guys you're getting, all right, y'all are getting the drop from spirit. It may not be in a way that you like or that you're identifying with as spirit showing you something. Like you might be, it's like an oversight, basically. Don't you start, Nova? So the Ascended Masters card is kind of like, I'm getting your spiritual team. Their hands, it's like it has all these hands. It has at least 4 hands here, and they're all showing something in their palm. So one is an infinity symbol, one is a lotus, one is a dove, and one is a pyramid. Like these are sacred symbols or things that are sacred to you that you're seeing. May not be these particular things that I mentioned, but it's something that's like, it means something to you. It's sacred to you. And these things that they're showing you is showing you what the plan is, or maybe what actions are needed to be taken. Sometimes the action is not you, oh, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there, I'm going to hit this person up, or it doesn't have to be that. It could be the action is making up in your mind a decision that you're going to make, or just saying, okay, this is what I'm going to stand on. This is my truth. This is what I feel. This is what I believe, and standing on it. Like that could be an action within itself. So you are dealing with some type of feeling of loss here. Like this 3 of Swords, you may be disappointed where you are in your love life. And if you know who your person is, or you have an idea of who your person is, at least you feel disappointment. You feel some type of loss or some type of lack here. When spirit is saying where you need to heal with your masculine is this energy of joy, you have to be in that vibration. When you're in that vibration, I'm telling you that it shifts something. Something clicks. It's like an orb of light. So I'm glad that this deck didn't depict what joy and stability looks like with like people, you know, doing this or doing that. Kind of like the little Ferris wheel card that I showed you, that card of joy and what was it? Joyful fun, I think was the words on the card, where it was like kids playing at a carnival and couples and families. This is just orbs of light. So spirit is like, joy is an energy. It doesn't have to be an external thing where it's like, oh, my money right, I'm in joy. Oh, I have a man now, I'm in joy. Like, no, you carry the energy of joy and the essence of that. You just have to tap into what that is for you. Let's see, where is the feminine energy at? With the masculine energy. The Empress. The 8 of Wands. The Devil in reverse and the 4 of Cups. So the Empress card is like, you know your value, you know your worth. You have a pretty healthy self-esteem and self-love about yourself. There might be something that you're not seeing behind the scenes. Like there's energies that you feel like are not moving, and you're kind of taking it as rejection, or taking it as from a place of this pessimism where it's like, maybe for some of you, if it's not a particular person that you have in mind that you feel like is rejected you, slighted you, or it could literally be taken as, for some of you, it could feel like rejection a little bit, or like something, an opportunity, a missed opportunity, or something that someone did not want from you. Like the cup, they didn't want to take it. They didn't want to, you know what I mean? Or some level of rejection is felt here. But what you're not seeing here is that there's some level of needing to free oneself, maybe of like a stiff belief around rejection, or around maybe even falling victim to comparison and coveting other people's like situations and what they got going on, or that could be part of it, or comparing your timeline to other people's timeline. Or some of you, it's a little bit of temptation to just take any cup, and spirit's like, don't do that. Do not settle. Don't do that to yourself. Because you don't feel like there's any movement going on. Because the 8 of Wands is in reverse. So it's like there's nothing happening. There's no movement. But that's not the case. And another thing too is I feel like there might be something going on if you are connected to someone already right now, like physically, like you have a conscious awareness of who your person is. Or you're already, maybe you had a situation with them, or whatever the case may be. You may not be seeing something that they're having to release free themselves of, because they're not in the space to move this energy in the way that you want or in the timeline that you think it should be. Okay? There could be something karmic here going on that Spirit is kind of like it has nothing to do with you. Clarify the Devil card. Or some shadow work, rather, I should say. More so shadow work. Ace of Wands. Yeah, like this Devil card could be the restriction. Like there's something here, but it's not quite time yet. The Tower. Yeah, something needs to be rebuilt. Two of Pentacles. Masculine energy, I'm picking up very heavily, needs to do some type of like, there's something with these boats. What the hell is with these boats? Okay, it's like I keep seeing sailboats in different decks. It's a decision or choice that this masculine has to make. They have to make a conscious decision here. There could be something with the infinity symbol, because I'm seeing it in two different decks. The Ascended Masters card and this Two of Pentacles. All right, let's see. Masculine, where's your energy at with the feminine energy? Let's see. Loving man. Discovery. True love, optimism, light in reverse. This is my Taylor Swift card. This looks like Taylor Swift. The Sun card in reverse, and then change your focus, which is the Five of Cups. So, masculine energy, where you're at with the feminine, it does feel like this desire to be like more forthcoming, loving. This man is carrying a bouquet of flowers. It's like, you want to take the path. You want to trust in the path. This man is walking down what seems to be like in a park, like walking this path, and he's smiling. He's happy. It's like you want to do that. But your intentions right now is to really discover or kind of discern and dissect what you're really looking at. Like, is this really this thing that's sparkling and shining? Is this really what it is, or is this a counterfeit energy? This intention to discover what you're really looking at. And it could also be too that you're still like looking and searching for the right person, but the man, he has a plate already in his hand with like what seems to be maybe diamonds or crystals or something, but in his hand he's already looking at something sparkly. So it's like you already have your eye on one particular energy, right? Which I feel like could be a feminine, but let's clarify, because this could go for different people. The Hierophant and the Nine of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's like, is this it? Is this my one? Is this really my wish fulfillment? And the Two of Pentacles came out right with it. I was just saying to the feminine that masculine energy is not fully decided upon something. Still kind of in this back and forth, weighing their options. So literally, options. The Nine of Cups in reverse is like, if you look at this man, his arms are crossed. He's not open. So it's like you're not really open to the fact that this could be, if it is or it isn't, you're one. Now, I'm tripping again because I've never noticed in the Hierophant, there's like these, looks like a cat person, and then it looks like an eagle-headed person. Like they have an eagle head. And I keep picking up messages about eagles. Eagles for me can represent prophetic insight into things, being able to oversee something. Could also be like independence, somebody that is able to withstand like trials and tribulations, not be wavered by the storm. But the Hierophant is a marriage card sometimes. And I'll never forget, I had this dream. I don't know if I shared it with y'all. I feel like I did, where I had a dream that I was at some type of like outdoor like thing, like a festival or something, and it was like a rodeo kind of type energy or theme, or at a ranch or something. And there was a stand that I like, kind of like a vending stand where, you know, where they sell like stuff at the mall, and they have like those little vending stations in the middle of the mall or whatever, or shopping center. On one of them, it was this sign, and it said Eagle Marriages. And in the dream, it was like, I felt it was significant even in the dream, because when I was in the dream, I was trying to get my phone to take a picture of it so I could share it. And I was like, oh my God, like I knew it was a message or something, because I was so adamant about trying to take a picture, and I couldn't capture it. And the lady was like, you want me to take it for you? And I was like, yes, please. And the lady at the stand took the picture for me. And I feel this very strongly. I feel this very strongly that masculine energy, like, you know, okay, or you know like you see the prophecy, and it may not be a specific person. It could be like details about your person, or something spirit told you about your one, or something about maybe the timeline or how it's going to happen. It's something specific to you. Okay, so it's going to go differently for everybody else. Then the energy card, it says true love. So the energy that you're in is like you're really trying to see what you're seeing, if it's true. And I'm hearing that song from Cinderella, the hammer, what's it called? Hammers? Whatever the hell. I don't know. Brandy did that version. Like the music and all of that was that version. And the song was like, he was saying, do I love you because you're beautiful? Are you really wonderful? Or are you wonderful because I want you, or because something like that? Or do I love you because you're beautiful? Do I want you because whatever? I don't remember the words, but y'all know what I'm talking about. For some of you, y'all get it. So it could be like masculine energy, you're just trying to discern, like, is this really true love, what I'm envisioning? Or is this person that I'm seeing, because this woman could very well be a spirit, like a spiritual vision, rather than it is a physical person. Let me show you this card real quick. So see how this looks like a portal again? Like, what's in what is it with masculine energy and these portal energies? Like, what's up? You're in between. Like, you go in between energies too. Like, you have, let me move these damn bubbles. How do I move these bubbles? Oh, forget it. Whatever. You guys see the card. She's looking like, it looks like she's looking in a mirror, right? But it's portal, and mirrors, spiritually, they're portals as well. Or they can be used as a sportal, a spiritual portal. Yeah, so this could be like the energy of a person. And that first half of the reading, like I said, it can go both ways, where you guys experience things as well. Like where I was saying, like, you can experience a person's energy before you meet them, or you can see their energy or see them. You can see a person physically in the spirit realm, in a dream or whatever, in a vision, before you actually encounter that person. So I feel like that's the energy here. But for some of you, if it's like masculine energy, there's like a physical presentation of that. You're trying to make sure and discern what you're seeing is really true love, and you're not looking from the eyes of maybe lust, because this woman is wearing a red dress. So it could be like sexuality, passion, and all of that. You want to make sure that you're discerning. Maybe in the past you fell for the lust. Okay. Let's see. The optimism card. So your consciousness about the feminine is you are optimistic, though, about them, or you feel optimistic about the future that they have, like their future. You're happy for them, or you're excited to see what the future holds for them in general, just personally, like fruitfulness, abundance. But I also feel like this goes both ways. Clarify this. Yeah, Five of Pentacles in reverse. Like, you see this feminine energy is abundant. Okay. There's some sort of energy of lack. The King of Pentacles. Yeah. You're focused on your finances. And then you have the Empress. Empress came out again with the Eight of Swords. You feel kind of trapped about something in regards to this feminine. Like, what do you have to offer? And it may not be financial. This could be like energy-wise. What can I add to somebody that seems like they're already fulfilled or self-sufficient, or something along the lines of that? The Light card in reverse, Taylor Swift in reverse with the Sun card. You feel like this person has taken their energy away. So some of you guys, you already know who your person is, or you feel like you know who your person is. They may have taken their energy away from you. Seven of Cups. You don't feel their energy anymore, or if this is like an energetic thing where you don't know a physical person yet, or maybe you're very familiar with this person's energy spiritually, in the spirit realm and in the physical, you don't feel their presence anymore, or something like that, or you feel like it's removed. Page of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. The water is your portal. I don't know what that means. And it is a portal within itself, but you identify with water. That's like where you connect. So like some people can spiritually tap in when they're in a shower, or when they're in the bathtub, or when they're maybe sitting by a body of water, or literally in the water. There's something about water for you. Or again, that metaphor for baptism. Hold on. I don't know what I just did. You see that? How this man is like submerged in this water halfway, much like the flow card where that man was in that body of water, but only like his feet were in the water. He wasn't fully submerged in it. So I feel this is like spiritual purification or cleansing, but there's something about this connection where you tap in. Like you can go into this, or it's a metaphor. It doesn't have to be water, but I feel water strongly. But masculine energy, you do have the ability to be in two different rooms at once. And there's something like that you're aware of, like you're not getting something. Something's not being given to you with the Page of Pentacles. Five of Cups, you're worried that this feminine has changed their focus. Five of Cups, due to like spilled milk, maybe like past, maybe a falling out or something, a breakup, a separation, some type of disappointment. I don't know, because the change your focus card is a feminine energy, and she's looking elsewhere. Like her focus is in another direction. So let's see. How do you guys feel about one another right now? Divine Spirit, can you please give me clarity as to where, like, how the feminine feels about their masculine? This is really interesting because I feel like there's different energies here, so I can't say like all of you guys know or you don't know your person. I feel like it's just different. Just you're unique. Your situation is going to be different. How does the feminine feel about the masculine? Ooh, okay. Okay. Showing out, it's on. Okay. It's on. I see you looking good and moving on. I don't care who you're talking to. I'm better and I'm willing to compete for you. Some feminine energies, you're on that type time where you like, you know, you want to be seen by this person. Like, okay. And then it's the opposite with some of you guys. It says showing out. I'm acting like I don't care about what's happened between us, but I do. I just want to appear unbothered. Okay. The flirt and the very soon card came out. So how you feel is like potentially open to extending your energy to others and flirting with others, because it's like, okay, you need to clearly decide what you want. Otherwise, yeah, that's kind of the energy that I get from this. So it's a little bit of, some of it is pessimism, because that might be legit a feeling like, okay, if this doesn't work out, then I'm going to have to extend my energy elsewhere. And for those of you that you don't even know who your person is, you don't have a person at all in mind, it's just the energy of your person, you know that you're going to eventually have to open up and flirt so that you allow love in. Like Spirit saying, you need to clearly decide. Like you need to be clear what you want. All right. If not, it's just stuck. You can't be stuck in that energy. Again, like your light-hearted energy, Spirit keeps emphasizing your healing is going to come through you being in a place of joy, being present and being happy, and really being in that vibration of light. You might want to work on your solar plexus or work with yellow energy. I've been saying that for like a couple weeks now for some people that might resonate with you. Masculine, how does this masculine feel about the feminine energy? How do they feel? How do they feel? Children. Trust and separation. Calling in your soulmate. Oh, let's see with this deck. How does the masculine energy feel about the feminine? So masculine, it could be something with children involved. There's a lot of babies, like little cherubs and kids in these cards. Like all three cards have some type of baby or child in it. So it could be something with a child involved, okay? Some of you guys, it's your inner child. This person does feel like this innocence, this purity energy being connected to you, or they feel like their inner child. There's something about that innocence, that purity. They do feel a lot of angelic presence. Angelic presence is connected to the connection, or it feels like there's some type of angelic assistance with the trust card. Like they feel like they need to have faith and they need to trust. They might be wanting you to have faith too, if you are feminine. I could be going out on a limb here and just being completely just crazy delusional when I say this, but, and it's not impossible. I know it's definitely not impossible, but I feel like at least for, I don't want to say a good majority, a very unique amount of masculine energies I feel like are very aware of spiritual, like telepathy and communication, or energetic, like being able to sense energies, energetic presences already anyway, to the point where they can sense their person's energy, like where they're at, how they feel, based off of some type of inkling that they have. It could be a dream, it could be things that they're experiencing, songs, or just an inner knowing or download from spirit in some type of way, whether they know who their person is yet or not. It's like there's a connection already that they're already feeding and pouring into in the spirit realm, like they're legitimately putting into it. So some people just like focus only solely on the physical, like, okay, we have to keep our relationship up, like we have to talk every day on the phone, go out and see each other, go on dates, or make sure we have sex every now and then, whatever y'all be doing, right? And then there's some people that are tapped into the spirit realm that know that that's also a place of communication and connecting, to where you can do that. I do that not even on purpose. Like sometimes it just happens. I just do that. Yeah, it's just natural. You could just do it. Some people might be like, okay, that sounds fucking crazy. But no, I feel too like that's also a strengthening of your connection. And that's why if you're very tapped into the spirit, when you meet people, romantic or not, it could be platonic, strangers, whatever, you meet people and you feel a sense of familiarity, or you guys kind of just click because your spirits, your souls already recognize each other. You know, you just may not be consciously aware of how or what or whatever. So that's what I'm getting. Like this person is like, this masculine energy I feel like you're feeling there, or feminine, like how they feel about you, is they trust this, or they're holding faith, trying to have faith and trust. They're trying to hold that, but also some of them want you to, if they feel like you're lacking in that. Definitely, I feel like they're right on point with that. Just based off of looking at the feminine's energy, I do get that level of kind of like, no, I don't really trust this. I don't really have faith in this like that fully. I need to play it safe. Okay. And then the separation, like there's the separation card. It could be like you guys are in separation right now, whether that's like you guys came together and then you separated, or something where you guys connected in some way. Or for some of you, if you've never even met or even know who your person is in the physical, it's more of an energetic thing where you guys are apart. But even when you guys are physically apart, you're energetically not apart. This woman is laying in the bed, reaching out for this man. So again, this is like references to that dream state or that spiritual realm. Use your discernment, y'all. Like, you know, because it goes down in the spirit realm, good or bad. So just be discerning. But you're not just connecting with some like spirit spouse or something, and some, you know, imaginary friend husband that's not like an actual person. Like spirit, tricks of spirits of shit. Them spirit spouses are real. I'm telling you, they're very real. They lay with you, they sleep with you. Yeah. And they walk with you in a way where they can block you from love. These are spiritual entities. These aren't people's energies. You know what I'm saying? So that's a heads up for some of y'all. Like, don't be deceived. Use your discernment. Okay, let me ask. From this deck, how does the masculine feel about the feminine? How does the masculine feel about the feminine? You guys got one of the same cards. Still listening. I listen to the music you've shared with me. It helps me to connect with you, although we are apart. What was I just saying about the music, y'all? Like some of you guys, it is coming through music because I keep hearing the same songs over and over again. So, yeah, pay attention to that when that happens. Showing out, same card the feminine energy got. I'm acting like I don't care about what happened between us, but I do. I just want to appear unbothered. Y'all got to get out y'all ego with that. Don't be doing that. Y'all both need to stop. You guys need to stop it. So let's see what your spiritual team is feeling about this whole connection. Like, what's their guidance? What's their advice for you guys? What do they want you guys to know? See what your spiritual team is feeling about this connection. All right, divine spirit, our divine team, our benevolent, loving, divine source team. What do you guys, how do you guys see this connection? What do you guys want us to know? What's the advice? Holy Spirit, what do you want us to know? Okay, victim mentality came out again. The vast universe and professional assistance. Okay. Some of you guys, like, spirit is encouraging you both to do this, but I'm getting more so the masculine when it comes to that victim mentality and being stuck in shame. It's like, you may know the vastness of the universe, but you're trapped in your own mind, and it might be something where you might need assistance. It says professional assistance. So I don't know if it's as deep as like some therapy or something, or maybe you need someone else that is not emotionally attached to whatever you're stressed out about to kind of like help you see the other side where you break out of your own mind. Okay, you free yourself out of your own mind. But for you guys as a whole, like the connection, your spiritual team does feel like they need to step in and assist. Okay, like they have a whole playbook here, they reading it, they're like, we see everything, we see the script. These people, they need to get out of their own head. It's something with the mindset, the consciousness, being trapped. Holy Spirit, how do you see this connection and what's your advice? Playfulness, retreat, calling in your soulmate. So again, spirit is really emphasizing that lighthearted energy. Like, where has it gone? Like, maybe you guys kind of taking this a little too seriously to where you're not enjoying the journey, or you're not in that place where you're excited about the possibilities, or you're excited about what spirit is doing, or where you're open to the supernatural, where you're open to the spontaneity, or the, what's the right word, the serendipity, or just what, you know, what spirit can pull out of their hat, like, or just the unfolding of it. There's a loss of that, or the connection. Maybe you guys were excited by it in the beginning. It was like, you know, something fun, something new for you. And then it kind of just like reality set in to an extent. And I feel like there's this ups and downs. There's an ebb and flow within this situation. And that's with anything in life, right? So spirit is saying in order to recapture the romance, you have to allow this inner youthful spirit of yours to have fun and to shine. And I was saying this, and I wasn't playing when I said it, where spirit was really emphasizing, definitely for the feminine, that you have to be in that light, joyous state. You have to. And sometimes, like, when we turn our light on, it kind of lights the way for others. So no different than your counterpart. When, you know, that's what it's being, a compliment or a counterpart to someone, is you feel where they lack and vice versa. And it's no taking away, but it's giving, it's extending, it's sharing, it's balancing out energies, the yin and the yang. Like, that's why I love Shiva and Shakti, like, as a physical representation, like a spiritual and physical representation and essence of a divine connection, like the essence of a feminine energy and masculine energy, and how they work together, how there's no separation between the two, how there's no difference, like there's nothing, there's not one without the other, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting from this. And then with the retreat card, I feel like spirit is saying, like, for those of you that are single, and you may not have a person at all, or you may spirit, like for some of you that know that you know, and sometimes you question it, but you know, right? You just be like, you be lying to yourself sometimes, but you know, like who your person is, or spirit has told you or shown you who your person is. Maybe you don't know them at all physically, but spirit's giving you details, like your person is going to be like this, they're going to be like that, blah blah blah. And that's because spirit is keeping you sacred from choosing the wrong person, going down the path of union with a counterfeit, because this man is giving his daughter away, but they're in the woods together. So I'm gonna go a little deep with this, just a little, not too much. I'll try to keep it at a basic level. But some metaphors for the wilderness, like if you think of the spiritual, like any spiritual guru, or let's say ascended master rather, like Jesus is and all of that, where they go into the woods, it's usually like some type of spiritual purge. And it's a metaphor for the fasting, like spiritual fast, where we're cleansing ourselves of things that no longer serve. It's like the cocoon state as a butterfly. When you're in your cocoon phase, you're having to eat away at the parts of yourself that do not fit in your cocoon, so that when it's time for you to expand, you have space to grow and to do that. So like spirit has you in this space as the divine feminine. I'm getting feminine energy because this is a bride and her father. I feel like this is like the divine source God spirit. So like the divine mother, and then you got the divine source God. This is like the father, divine source God energy that is protecting you and keeping you. And it's like, if I don't approve of this person, it's not going to work out like that. It's not going to go too far. You might be able to go out on a couple of dates, might even be together for like 2 months or so, have some sex or whatever, but it doesn't last. It doesn't end in that union. It doesn't give you that promise that you know that is to be fulfilled and that you're seeking within your true heart's desires. It's not going to be that fulfillment. So it's like spirit is keeping you and disconnecting you from the world, not like where you're not in the world, but you're not of it. Does that make sense? Like you're still in the world every day, but you're not a part of it. So you're not going to be able to do everything that everybody else does. You're not going to be able to just get in some shitty relationship and then that's that. Like, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to play the game. Remember I said, like, it's a narrow path. You really say that you really want a divine connection, a divine counterpart and all of that, and you know that it's fact that that exists and that's your path. It's not going to be a cakewalk. Not a lot of people are going to find their true love in this lifetime if they really want to, because some people don't have it in them to wait. They don't have the courage. They don't have the willpower. They don't have the confidence nor the faith or the belief to do that. And some people, that's just not their path. Some people don't care. And some people just settle and say, okay, I'm going to just go with what's easy. Or I'm going to choose this because this person wants me, or because we have kids, or because we've been together all this time, even though it's toxic, or they have money, or because they look good. I don't want, whatever. The settle ships, I call them settle ships. Okay. The situations. Okay. Situationals. Hey, good day. Yeah. Where you settle. And that's not your path. So when you're in this path, it's going to be kind of like a little bit of a test for you, because you'll have situations where you're human, you have human emotion. You might have a crush on somebody and that's not your person and it doesn't work out and you got to move on. That's life, right? Or where you try to like initiate connections and they never last, or they don't even pick up at all. It's because it's not for you. And a lot of times it's, if not 99% of the time, it's protection. Because your spiritual team, divine source that knows you, that created you, knows what is for you. Like who is perfect for you. They're not perfect. You're not perfect, but you're perfect for each other. Shout out to Missy Elliott and J. Cole. Hey, nobody's perfect, but you're perfect for each other, if that makes sense. So you have calling in your soulmate, which is your prayers, your affirmations, and visualizations help bring you guys together. So you have to continue to feed the spirit. And, oh God, spirit, thank you. I'm going to quote this again because this number is like, at this day and time in my life, this number has been stalking me. Okay. 11 and 1 or just 111 or 111, 3 ones, right? And I always think of, when I see 11 or 1 on the clock, of Hebrews 11 and 1, which is, faith is the substance of things hoped for, yet the evidence of things not yet seen. So again, blind faith is just really just trusting in the spirit realm. That's all it is. You're feeding the spiritual realm. So when you're praying, those are your words are going out into an atmosphere. Your words hold vibrational energy, right? And it's just going out. It's forming. Your words form. That's why they say there's power. There's the power of life and death over the tongue. Be careful what you speak into existence. Your words, they're literally vibrational energies. They affect and, I don't know, whatever, they cause effect in your environment. So like people that have a hostile environment where there's people always arguing, always yelling, you know, usually it's a negative energy that's spread about. And then other people start getting in that place, and then they start getting all angry or depressive energies. Just like with the water experiment, where the I think his name was, I should know this, Dr. Emoto, thank you, where he did a water experiment where he would speak loving affirmations over one thing of water, and then he would speak nothing, which also wasn't a good energy because it was like kind of foggy, like no effect at all. And then the one where he would speak negatively, the water was very mercury, and the crystals were like kind of like distorted, versus where he spoke lovingly over this one thing of water. It was like this beautiful crystallized, looked like snowflakes, like it was beautiful. So when you speak things over yourself and in your environment, it's a spiritual act. It's an unseen thing. It's not physical yet, right? That's what prayers and affirmations are. Affirmations are you affirming something, you're decreeing and declaring something as though it already is, right? Then visualizations is also a spiritual act, because that's the whole, the realm of imagination is also a spiritual thing as well. It's an unseen realm. It's like a movie theater, right, where you can see these things in your mind's eye. They haven't yet physically came to pass. That's a spiritual act. So you're feeding the spiritual more. You're too focused on the physical. And I have to be careful with my words, because I don't want to, I feel like if you have a clear understanding, you have a sound mind, you're not, you know, crazy like that. Where some people, they take these things and it's like they twist it to think that they can force something to happen, force a person to be with them, or force a reality that is opposite of what is really for your highest good. Like we could tell when we're asking for things that are not in alignment with us, because it's not coming from a sound place. It may be coming even from a selfish desire, an egotistical desire, or a lustful desire, rather than it is something that your spirit or your soul is in alignment with. It's like, I know I'm destined to be this. I know I'm destined to be that. And it's like everything in your entire being seeks that out. And it's an unfolding path that leads to that. Versus being like, I'm going to force myself to be something that is not meant. You can tell the difference, okay? You could tell the difference. And if something is repelling you, it's not for you. If it's repelling you, it's not for you. And that's why I never understand why we want things that don't want us. It's like you're selling yourself short. You're trying to force something that's not meant, versus being receptive to what is, right? So this isn't about being delusional or hoping that you can charm or cast spells and make something, you know, be that's not for your highest good, or somebody to be with you that doesn't want to be with you or is not meant to be with you. There's a difference. There is a fine line between that, okay? Just saying. But other than that, yeah, and Spirit is also encouraging you guys to free yourself of your own restrictions and constraints, okay? And again, Spirit is going to emphasize this one more time for feminine energy. You have the attraction card at the top of the deck, where it says you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. When you're fully in your bag of joy and love, and you're present, you're in gratitude, you're in openness, receptivity, that is what's going to attract love in, okay? healthy love in, and maybe even some counterfeits, but you got to use your discernment. You know the difference. But that radiance of light, that radiance of self-love and presence, and that childlike energy, this, and it's not to say that you have to fake it, because we're not going to be happy beings all the time, but it's like, can you, even through your trials and tribulations, can you still say to yourself at that moment that I acknowledge the pain, I acknowledge that I'm not happy where I am, or this is a difficult time for me, or, but I still have faith to keep persevering and keep going on. You can find the joy in the little things. You can find gratitude or be grateful for the things that you do have at present. You can give to yourself in a way that makes sure that you're good, that you're happy, that you're healthy, that you check in with yourself, that you honor yourself, that you have compassion for yourself, you have patience with yourself, you motivate and encourage yourself, you're honest with yourself, right? Those are acts of self-love. Choosing to do something that you love or you feel inspired to do and having the courage to do that, that's self-love. Like, it doesn't have to be just flowers and getting your nails done, getting your hair done, or whatever. It's deeper than that. You know what I mean? So I hope that this resonates with you. Okay. Yeah, some of you guys might be addicted to being like your own protector and being overly protective. And I understand that. Trust me, I get it. Okay. I completely feel you on that. And that comes from years of trauma, or could even come from just years of feeling like let down, where you feel like I have to protect myself. I'm my biggest protector, which you should protect yourself. Your self-love also is you protecting your energy at all costs, but not from a place of where you don't allow the help in. And some of us are unlearning that, to allow to receive assistance and support and love, and you know what I mean, to really trust that other people do have our best interests at heart and have our back and can and will, you know what I mean? So yeah, and looking at the past and saying, okay, some people just maybe weren't meant to show up, or they could not show up, they didn't have the capacity to show up, or they were just shitty people, and then you just chuck it up at that, instead of internalizing it and blaming yourself constantly. Like, I just came to this revelation, and I was watching a video last night, and the lady really helped me free myself of something, where she was like, you kind of made your journey about your healing, and not so much like we shouldn't be, focused on our healing, but it becomes a part of our identity, where it's like, I have to heal this, I have to do that. And you know what I mean? Like, there's a balance between, doing the work and dissecting, what's going on with me, what are my blockages, what are my hangups. Like, those are healthy things, those are healthy assessments. But the way that she was saying it made so much sense. It was like, sometimes like we could carry those things and not know that we're carrying it as an identity, to where it's reliving that when it's already done. We've already done the healing work. Just be present, just move on from that. Now, and I said this to myself, like, now is the time for me to just really enjoy, like, and when I say that, because I found that my entire journey, where I felt like I was really like, oh, I'm doing the self-work, and I'm not ready for love because I need to work on myself, that a lot of that was just, part of it was me making my healing journey an identity, and kind of being stuck in that loop of that, where it's like, okay, there's a time and a season for that, but there's also this time now where you're free and you can just be. Now this is my joy season. So like, if this is about my if this is my Ferris wheel, my amusement park era, I'm with it. Like, it's time to be in a place of joy and fun and playfulness and kid stuff. Like, you know what? God willing, I can go back to Disneyland again, because that's my shit. Like, I feel adults, like, we need that. We need, like, some of those moments. And if you have kids, it makes it even easier. Kind of gives us an excuse to be like, okay, I could go to Disneyland, or I can go to an amusement park, or I could just go to a park with my kids and play. I could go to Chuck E. Cheese, or do something, or watch a movie, or paint, play with Barbies with my kids, or whatever you know what I mean. Like, to pull yourself in that energy. Because it really does just, it does something naturally to where you're present that playful, childlike energy, not being childish, but just childlike and playful, it really does pull you in the energy of just being present and allowing. And that's why, like, when I'm in California, like, when I'm there, it's like, it's an energy that I can't explain. I feel like, and it could be the beach. Like, that's just, if I go to any beach, the energy's magical. I shouldn't just say California, but any beach that I've ever gone to, it pulls me in this energy of just like flow, and I feel so connected to self. I feel connected to God, and I just, nature and whatever. Any body of water, actually. I don't know what I'm talking about. Any body of water, but it's just a presence energy. You're present and you're allowing. When you're too focused on adulting and what isn't here now, you lose sight of the journey. Because in the beginning it's fun, like every situation, like whether it's a romantic situation, you know, when couples first meet each other, it's just beautiful, it's blissful, it's like, I'm just going with this, I'm gone with the motherfucking wind. And then it gets to a point where you kind of get scared and it's like, okay, this is real now. And then you kind of take all the fun out of it when you take the rose colored glasses and you see that you guys are just human and you have your quirks and all of that. And then, you know, you have to go from there. But when you lose sight of just being present at times, it makes life a little more heavier, if that makes sense. It just makes life a little more heavier. That's it. And life has a series of ups and downs, just like the whole wheel. Like, maybe that's also to another metaphor with the Ferris wheel that I was saying. Like, because Spirit keeps showing me Ferris wheels, but specifically something with Santa Monica Pier. I don't know why, but I keep seeing that. And it's in movies and stuff all the time too. Because I remember at that time when I was like getting references to Santa Monica, I think we went to, it was like during COVID. It was me, my mom, my aunt, my cousins, my sister, my daughter. I can't remember if my brother, it was family, whatever. We all went to the drive-in movie theater. It was at the mall. They had like this drive-in because we couldn't go to the theaters at the time because of the whole pandemic. So the mall had did this thing where they had like this big screen and you could pull up and drive, like a drive-in movie theater, which I used to love doing that when I was little. Like, we used to love going to the drive-in movie theater either on Fridays or Saturdays. We would do that. So that was like nostalgic. And the movie that was playing on the screen was Iron Man. And there was a scene where, y'all probably know the scene I'm talking about, but I think he was by the Santa Monica Pier beach or whatever when he crashed into the water, if I'm not mistaken. And it was like the Ferris wheel stood out to me. And I remember that at that time because I kept seeing Ferris wheels. So the Ferris wheel could definitely represent the ebb and flow of life, where we have our ups and we also have our downs. But there's a way to find amusement. I know that sounds delusional to some people. That does sound a little bit delusional. But yeah, you have to be present. And this isn't going to fall on deaf ears because a lot of times to us, it's just like, well, that's not realistic. Life is this and life is, I get that. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, I get that. But sometimes when do we break ourselves out of that mindset that life has to be hard? And that's the realistic thing about it. And it is realistic, but to the point where we believe in the bad more than we believe in the miracles and the supernatural things about life, where we look at the supernatural things as like delusions and, oh, that's too good to be true, instead of being like, why not? And there's nothing wrong with having discernment, because we ain't trying to be loop-de-loop-de-loo and be crazy. But yeah, like, when does it get to a point where you believe that the good things really are true and real and can happen to you, versus being like, oh, I always expect it to be some shitty shit. You know, I'm not going to be in my inner child. That's stupid. And I completely get that. Like, y'all know, I say this all the time. Like, I'm very, very, very blessed to be a triple Taurus. Like, Spirit just thought it was funny to make me a triple Taurus in this life, to be very stubborn and very, very practical sometimes, like to the point to my detriment. Like, it's almost like PTSD. Like, if I don't see it, I don't believe it. Like, and even when I'm seeing it, I'm still like, there's something to this. This is not right. This is off. Like, it's got to be a catch to this. Like that's messed up. Like, that's not a good thing. That's not a good trait to have. It's not. That's like you lack faith so much. Like, somebody could be like, I don't know, Chenoa, you won $1 million, and Oprah's gonna send it in the mail to you, and of course I'm gonna be like, bitch, you're lying. And then they send me an email and then show me it's an official stamp and it says Oprah on it. And I'm still like, this is fake. This is spam mail. And I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna search it. I'm gonna be like trying to see if some other people got scammed, and I find nothing. But I'm still like, but I might be the first person that gets scammed. Maybe I'm just the first person to experience a scam. That's not healthy. Like, I'm trying to explain to y'all, like, that's extreme. So that comes from a lot of trauma, and it does. So you have to break that. It's not easy. It's not. It's really not easy. It's fear. That's really what it is. It's fear. It is fear. Like, my friend Nina had me cracking up today. She was like, somebody could be like, Chenoa, I love you. I'm in love with you. And I'll be like, he must be talking about another Chenoa. That's not for me. Like, like, what? Child, that's sickness. That's not good. It's not cool. So, yeah, I'm saying all this to say, y'all, like, allow yourself to have something beautiful. Like, don't block yourself because of fear. Like, fear is a joy stiller. It is. It's such a joy stiller. It is such a paralyzing energy that you won't do anything if you allow fear to get the best of you. And the biggest thing is like, it's just not. It's not that, or it's a no, or whatever. That's all that it is. And at least you know that it is or it isn't, or, you know, maybe you were wrong about it, but that doesn't mean that good things are not going to come to you, or, you know what I mean? Yeah, make room for a miracle. Make room for miracles. Yes. Yes. Most definitely. You have to. You got to, because miracles happen every day. Like, people don't believe that, and it doesn't have to be as extreme as, like, what I said, like Oprah giving me $1 million, because that sounds like a fucking fantasy. And you never know, that could really happen to somebody for whatever reason. Like, you don't know, you know what I mean? But miracles every day. We'll start with this one. Waking up every morning is a miracle, because some people don't wake up. A miracle could be something that you do for the first time and you enjoy it, you love it, and it shifts your whole life, or shifts your whole perspective. You know, like, a miracle could be anything. And they really do happen every day. And the more that we are grateful for the things that we perceive as small blessings or small miracles, it makes us more receptive to receive things that we feel like are big miracles. And if it can happen to someone else, it could definitely happen for you. Like, why not? We live in the same universe, same planet. Why not? And this meme that I seen on Instagram the other night. The girl was like, don't get jealous of other people in your life getting blessings and blah, 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 because that means God is in your neighborhood. Like, literally, like, if your people around you are getting blessed, why would you be the exception where it's like, oh, not you? Why? Why not? That don't make no sense. And I be telling myself this, like, you know, that don't make no sense. Like, no, that doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I don't want to make this too long, because you guys know, like, I could do the most. Bless you. What do you want, Novi? What you want? Shouldn't you be asleep? You always up. This dog, she don't sleep. She is always up. She be trying to play 2 o'clock in the morning, throwing her toys at you. Like, child, I'm gonna try, sis. I'm gonna try to go to sleep. I told you I took a nap this evening. I had a little I had a couple of drinks at brunch with my peoples, and I came back home and made me another drink. I was like, bitch, it's Friday. I don't have nothing to do. So yeah, after that, and I did my reading with a client, and I ate, and I was like, I'm going to go to sleep. Oh, yeah, if you gotta get up in the AM, sis, you gotta go to sleep. You gotta try. Gotta try. Put on something relaxing. Sometimes putting on my little ocean, like the lights that I used to have on the table, like the little ocean thing, that helps me sleep. And even the sound that it makes kind of makes me go to sleep too. So something that helps you sleep will be good. But if you find that you can't, like, sit with yourself and see if it's something that needs to come. Yes, claim that money, sis. And we got to thank God in advance. Like, I thank you, God, for the things that I pray for that you're going to bless me with. Because, and you guys probably seen those memes where it says, like, where you've been blessed with things that you prayed about before. Like, certain things that you prayed about, you have now. So just be grateful. And I can say that, too, with complete confidence, that there's things that I've prayed for and kind of forgot about. And it could be like little, small, minor things. Could be things that I deem as like, thank you, God. Like, either way, like, thank you, God. But like, dang, like, thank you for coming through. Or thank you for that little, that it's beautiful. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's a very specific number. It's not like I want 36,000. It's like 36,838. That's very specific. So that's what I be saying. Like, some things you can't just be like, this is unreal. This is not realistic. Like, you can't. Like, and a friend of the past used to say this all the time. Stop trying to make sense of spiritual things. Meaning, and I used to get frustrated because I'm like, stop with all this shit. Because I be in my feelings and stuff, and I be like, bitch, shut up. But it makes sense where it's like, we try to make sense of something that is outside of the realm that what we can fathom sometimes, and we try to put it in our little practical box, like, oh no, that can't happen to me. Oh no, that ain't real because blah 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 blah, and you gotta do this and you gotta be that, and it should be this. And do you see the economy, you see the shit going on, like, you doubt, rather than being like, this universe is a very big place, very vast, very intricate, very intelligent source that we have that makes shit happen. A lot of things that people think are crazy, like airplanes, to one person back in the day probably was like, you sound like you're talking science fiction. There's no, like, that's never going to be invented. That's impossible. There's a lot of things that you would never think that you could create and invent with just the power of imagination. Like, where do you think all this shit comes from? Shoot, a tarot card. Like, and this just blows my mind every time. Like, I can read with this card, that card, that card several times. And I'm always going to feel and capture something different or see something I didn't even notice. I could have these decks for like years and pull them out for one reading, and I'm seeing shit that I've never seen. Like that, like the power of whoever created that and got the imagination to just, that's how powerful like your mind is. Like, it really is. And not just your mind, but like source, God, creative energy inside of you. Like, that's how powerful it is. So that's why I be telling myself all the time, like, if I can feel this energy, this essence, it exists. It's not a delusion. It's not like, sometimes we can create things out of our mind that are not sound, and they're crazy. Like, when people be like, there's bugs crawling all over me, and you looking at them like, there ain't no bugs on you. Like, that's a person that's out of, like, they're not in divine God mind. They're somewhere else. Like, some other shit is wrong. You know what I mean? Like, these people are stalking me, and ain't nobody fucking stalking them. Like, ain't nobody even thinking about these motherfuckers. they're just gone. That's a whole nother realm of imagination. I'm not talking about that. But where you just get these brilliant ideas from nowhere, or you're getting visions about things you can't explain. And that's another thing too. Like when spirit be showing me visions, I know that it's God because it's things that I can't create, just me sitting there and just imagining it, where you can go into this fantasy realm and you start imagining things and playing scenarios out. It's not quite like that. It's things that are like beyond human comprehension sometimes, where you have to sit with it and decode it sometimes. Or it could be really simple, but it's still kind of like there's something to this, like something about it. It's weird. It's interesting. There's something more. So, yeah. Because the visions and shit that I be getting sometimes is like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why am I seeing this? Why am I seeing that? Like, what does this mean? Like, it doesn't make logical sense sometimes. Like, it's nothing but spirit. Does that make sense? Like, you know, it's something beyond you. Like, it's a higher intelligence or something. Like, you can't just sit there and create that. You know, you couldn't make that up. So, yeah, I'm done talking, y'all. I'm gonna get my ass off of here. It's probably 1 o'clock. No, it's probably 2 o'clock here. It's probably 2 a.m. something here. Oh, it's 1:30. It's 1:30 on the dot. 1:30 a.m. So I'm gonna take my ass on somewhere. If not to bed, I'll, just off here. So much love as always, y'all. I appreciate you guys chilling with me and hanging with me late night, early morning, wherever you are in the world. Whenever you watch this, because this is timeless. The readings are timeless. Whenever you need to hear this, it will resonate with you if it's definitely for you. And take nothing that doesn't resonate with you and take everything back to source, God. And some of these things are just confirmations. I don't believe that, that's at least in my, from my perspective and my intentions, I don't want to be like your only, like your sole source of information. Like, I should only serve as a confirmation for you, or as a kind of like a helper to dissect or decode something for you. But I don't want to be like, you heard it first, because you should have heard that from spirit first, right? Some things maybe it is maybe the first time that you're hearing it. As far as like what's going on with you, it just helps you to understand. Rather, I'd rather be that person that helps you to understand something, not give it to you like this is what it is. It should be something that your spirit is already identified with, already familiar with, already hip to. Okay, but yeah, that's it. Y'all know I could keep going, like I could keep going, but I'm not. I think that's pretty much the gist of it. We got it. You know what I mean? Like, it's time to have fun with your journey. This is like, good night. Get your ass off here. He said good night. So it's just like, I just want to say this real quick, but like, this is the season like where you enjoy, like, whether you go out on, girls trips, guy trips for yourself and enjoy, or your kids, you have little dates with your girlfriends, y'all do things, whatever you feel like is going to bring you that place of joy right now. This is the time to do it. And if it's about your connection or your relationship, instead of going in with, because you don't want to scare each other off or scare yourselves, even knowing what you want to go in with this lighthearted as possible. Not saying that you're not going to take each other seriously or take love seriously, but you're going in from this place of like, we're enjoying each other. And it doesn't have to be like, what are we? We just going with the flow. We don't have a title. Like, I'm not talking about that fuckboy energy or fuck girl energy, whatever. It's from a place of like, we're enjoying where we are together. We're going to have fun, right? Let's do that. Okay, we can do all the romantic shit as well. We can do all, playful, fun shit. Let's do that. And I feel like, don't skip the process of really getting to know the person, like how you would your friends. Like, get to know each other. And if you do know each other, it's like, still build that friendship, build that connection, and enjoy each other and flow with it. You know what I mean? Where it's not so stiff and, oh, what are we? Is this my twin flame? Is this my soulmate? Is this my husband? Oh my God, is this my wife? And is this like, and if you already feel that shit within your inner being, it's like, it's going to be validated within, like, you guys validate each other with that. It's never going to be a one-sided thing. It's going to be validated, but you don't want to go in like making it too spiritual to where you don't enjoy the connection, because it's spiritual already within itself. So just be in it. Just be present. You know what I mean? Shit, like, shit, might go to the amusement park, something, or go to a little festival, fairs, something, do something fun. You know, it doesn't have to be all heavy and shit. That way you get to see if you really like the person. Like, if you just focus on whining and dining and gazing in each other's eyes and, you know, just being all freaky all the time, you're not going to really discern whether it's just your you know, your kitty cat, you know, fiending, or your you know what, your magic wand just trying to get in something. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to discern and separate the lust and the fleshy stuff by just enjoying it. That's one thing that I feel like I did not get to have in my experiences. Like, I didn't really get to enjoy a person because it was always about the romance and the lust first. It wasn't like, let me see if I really even like you. Because my thing is too, like, I like to talk when I get to talking, because sometimes I don't. Like, it's a fine line between me, like, being like, I don't want to talk, I'm quiet, I'm just here, I'm just chilling, I'm observing, like, we don't need to talk. And then there's times where I do like to talk and have conversations and laugh and just whatever, just fucking be sometimes. But we can skip that process of seeing if we even really like the person. And when I say like, do you like them as a person, or you just like how they make you feel? You like how they look, you like the chemistry, but you don't really understand it. You know, you don't really understand each other, or seek to understand each other, or dissect each other's brain, not to manipulate each other, but for the sake of, like, really getting to know each other and, you know, building an actual connection, not just based off of frivolous shit. Oh, let's get together. Okay, let's chill. Oh, you look good. Oh, you look good. Let's fuck. Like, it's not, it can't and it shouldn't be always about that, you know, because, and then you find out that you're dealing with an emotional, unavailable person, and you're trying to be like, wait a minute, I thought we liked each other. I thought we were vibing. And it's just like, no, you guys only interacted and connected on a surface level. Y'all just connected on a physical, emotional level, and maybe a little bit of, you know, some type of friendly, platonic type vibe, but there's no emotional intimacy. There's no spiritual intimacy. You know, that's lacking. That's not really there. You know, trauma bonding is not emotional intimacy either. Oh yeah, I had this ex, she was crazy. Oh yeah, my ex-boyfriend, he was so crazy. Oh, like, that's not bonding. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to say that y'all can't have those conversations, but some people, it's just like, that's all it is, and there's nothing else to it. There's no, you know, talking about, okay, well, so from there, what have you learned about, you know, connections, or what are you really looking for? Like, you know, what are you really seeking? What did you learn from that experience, or some shit? It don't even got to be that deep, but it's like, if you're going to talk about that, like, it shouldn't just be, oh yeah, we're bonding off of how crazy our exes were, or, oh, this happened to me, and it's just like, y'all just bond over it. It's not deep. It doesn't go beyond anything. You know what I mean? And then you'll know you're dealing with an emotionally unavailable person when they don't really want to, like, talk about anything except for, like, surface level things. It's like, you know, and you have to gradually build emotional intimacy. It's not going to happen overnight, probably not within months. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen that quick. But yeah, you have to have some type of firm foundation. You do. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, whining and dining and all that and being courted, like, that is necessary. I feel like it is. Like, you deserve to do that, and I'm sure, like, whoever you find that you feel is deserving of that. But I feel like some fun type of connectivities and stuff like that will definitely help you. And maybe some of it as well, to take your mind off of the lusty energy or falling into the trap of that. Maybe hang out with, like, a group of people to where it's like it's not this pressure to be nasty and be freaky sometimes. And some people still find a way to be nasty. Just it doesn't matter where they are. They just gonna find it. But yeah, like a person beyond that. It's not saying that you shouldn't, have your sexual energy. It's not saying that, but it's like, can you temper that and balance it with other things to where you actually like a person and you don't rush into it and be like, oh my God, this got to be the one, or I feel like it, and let's do this and let's do that. Like, enjoy each other first. I always say that. Just be present. See if you really even like the person. And beautiful, if it is your person, y'all can build upon that. I had my hair locked, and the person that said he wanted to be with me so bad did not notice. Yeah, see, that's another thing too. It's the little things. I'm glad you said that, sis. It's the little things. A person that's interested in you, they pay attention to the details. Pay attention to the details of like how someone pays attention to you, or if they're even paying attention to you. That's another thing. That's how you know like a person cares, because the person that, and then there's always a shadow side to this. I'm sorry, I always gotta like bring the opposite in, but like there are people that manipulate and they pay attention to everything about you. They want to learn everything about you so they can find those little nicks and crannies and those little screws that they can manipulate and all of that. But a person that's genuinely interested in you, they'll pay attention to you as well. They want to really genuinely know about you, and vice versa. Like, you can vouch for that. When you're interested in someone, you want to know about them. You care about certain things that they care about. You want to be, whatever, show up in a certain way where they feel appreciated, or be thoughtful, right? When you care about people, you're thoughtful, you're considerate, you're appreciative, you accommodate at times, and not like from a lower vibrational place where you're, low insecurities, low self-esteem, where you're doing too much. But it's like you do things for people that you care about because you pay attention to them. Like, how they feel matters to you, what they desire matters to you, what upsets them matters to you. But when it's somebody you don't give a fuck about, you don't care. You have a specific aim, why you're here, what you want, or what you're getting out of it, and that's it. So, right, how do you not notice like somebody completely has like a completely different hairstyle? That's like somebody cutting all their hair off and somebody just doesn't notice. Like, that's insane to me. Or dyed their hair like another color and you don't see it. Like, it's interesting. Okay, let's leave it alone, because I'm not trying to make this a 2-hour video. I'm really not. I'm really trying not to do that. But I'm gonna leave it here for real, y'all. I'm gonna leave it here. Because I could do too much. Sometimes I feel like, and some people are like, no, you don't do enough. I want a longer video. I'm just like, really? Okay. Give us a long video. Like, okay, as long as my mouth is still going. But if not, it might just be like, it's set, it's done. There's nothing else that wants to come through or come out, or there's nothing that I'm being led to tell y'all to say or share something. Like, if it doesn't come out, it doesn't come out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I overdo it. Nah. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your whatever, your night, your day, wherever you are in the world. Be blessed, be safe. If you guys celebrate the holidays or you have the holidays off, enjoy yourself. Try to at least be safe out here. Much love as always.